Hi everyone, so today in this video I'm going to do baby's 1 month update. She's actually a little over a month. She is currently 5 weeks and a day and she is currently sleeping right now. And so I thought this would be a good time to do an update. I've been wanting to do an update, I just haven't had time to sit down and actually do it. So she's sleeping really well right now, so I thought I would just, I've been sitting here like doing some work, so I thought it would be a good time to do an update. So the first week that she came back, she had to go see the pediatrician a couple of times because when she left the hospital, she was borderline jaundice. So the pediatrician at the hospital wanted her to be checked like 1 or 2 days after she left the hospital. So we went to the pediatrician the day after. Her jaundice looked kind of okay. She didn't get any blood tests. The doctor was just like pushing her sin, checking out her yellowness. I wasn't actually worried about her jaundice because she wasn't as yellow as my first daughter, and my first daughter didn't end up having jaundice or didn't have to go through phototherapy or anything like that. So she wasn't as yellow, and I wasn't as worried. And then but then she was worried about her weight gain. So we had a follow-up visit like a few days after that, or a couple days after that first visit outside the hospital, and she got her checked because the doctor wanted her to gain 20 to 30 grams, which is about an ounce a day, and I guess she was gaining, but she wasn't gaining as much. So she totally met that goal. And then she had her 2-week checkup. So we are at her checkup, right? You're at your checkup? You're 21 inches and 7 pounds, 7.2 ounces. So you gained 2.2 ounces. Pretty good. This is what the room looks like. So that's right. How you feeling? Babe? And by the 2-week checkup, she had regained her birth weight, plus I think about like a little over 2 pounds. So the doctor was really happy about that. Now the first 2 visits was not her actual primary pediatrician. Her primary pediatrician was out on vacation. So she saw her actual pediatrician, her primary pediatrician, at the 2-week mark. By 2 weeks, she gained. Like I said, she gained 2 pounds, but she grew 2 inches. So I don't remember what my first daughter grew, but that was a lot, and she's just been growing a lot ever since. She is being exclusively breastfed, which I was unfortunately not able to do with my first daughter because, like I said, she didn't have any milk. Well, I originally thought that I didn't have enough milk, but my theory now is that I didn't know how to properly breastfeed soon enough. And I felt like the hospital for my first daughter, I felt like they put her on formula pretty quick. I know that they do look for like a dirty diaper, like a poop and a pee, and she didn't get it, but maybe I just wasn't properly, trained, or I didn't get the help that I needed to breastfeed. So I think that was the biggest problem, because I all these years I always thought that I wouldn't be able to, exclusively breastfeed because, like I'm pretty small chested, and I know, like my friend was telling me, oh, it doesn't matter, like the size of your breasts, but I kind of never really totally believed that. So anyway, she's being exclusively breastfed. She is 5 weeks. She did miss her 1 month checkup, but the doctor at the 2-week checkup said that 1 month was optional, and with insurance and things like that, I ended up canceling that appointment. So in a few weeks, she'll have her 2-month checkup, which is required because she needs to get updates on her vaccinations. So we'll find out more. I'll do another update at two months. And let's see, other things that happening. So in the first couple weeks, her skin was pretty dry. She was peeling, so you can see that in some pictures, I think, like on my blog and on Instagram. So she was peeling, but that was not a concern at all. And at the 2 week mark, the doctor said, oh, actually, at the 2 week mark, her doctor said, I asked the doctor if she should be, asked her about exercise, and she thought she was referring to me exercising, holding her, but I asked her about actually, like tummy time. I actually didn't know it was called tummy time, but she was like, oh, you mean tummy time. I was like, yeah, just like strengthening the back of her neck or whatever. So we had a 2 week checkup yesterday, and the doctor said that she needs to do tummy time 3 times a day, 5 minutes each time. So this is what we're gonna do right now. This is Estiana, and she said that we need to do like this. To put her hands like that. Go, babe, go. Are you hungry? Are you hungry during tummy time? You got it. You got it. Let me help you. Let me help you just a little bit. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Yeah. You had it there for a second. Yeah. Yeah, so we've been doing that. She does not like tummy time, which is so interesting because, I mean, doctors and, healthcare providers are like, oh, don't let your baby sleep on their belly because of SIDS and things like that. But I don't see how babies would like to sleep on their tummy because she and my first daughter, they both hate tummy time. And maybe I'm not doing it necessarily the right time. I mean, she's getting better the last couple weeks. Last week or a little bit more than a week, she has not been crying hysterically, at least initially. She flipped over by herself. Look at her, lifting her head. Good job, babe. Very good job. So I don't know, maybe I'm not doing it the right time, but they don't really like it. They get really frustrated. I think that's normal, but yeah, so So there's that. And what else? She has been, because we missed the 1 month, I don't know how much she weighs or how long she is, but she feels like she doesn't feel like a newborn anymore. And actually, I don't even know what newborn age is. Like, is it 1 month and then you're an infant? Or is it 2 months, or is it 3 months, or whatever? I still kind of refer to her sometimes. I still refer to her as a newborn. She's 5 weeks. So, I mean, I don't know. I have 5 fingers, like, well, not like I have 5 fingers, but like, I think maybe at the 2 month, or definitely at the 2 month mark, I feel like she's still a newborn, and then maybe after is wishy-washy. Like the 2 or 3 month mark, I kind of consider them still newborn. As long as you still, refer to their age in terms of weeks. Now, whether you say 8 weeks, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks, I'm not really sure. But I think 2 or 3 months, they're probably still newborn. She has, ever since she hit 1 month, I could see like a complete change than the first month. So change including like she can look very easily, like follow me with her eyes and her head. She's beginning to use her arm to like either look for me or hit my chest when she wants to feed, and or just to see if I'm here, and like if I let go, she'll like use her arm to kind of like hold on. And her neck is really strong. Like, she can't get her head up too much when I put her on her tummy, but there have been times where she actually like lifted it like pretty high, but it's not very long, and she hasn't done it too much. But like when I burp her, she's pretty good at holding up her head. Like I burp her initially sitting up, and she smiles quite a bit. She is a happy baby. She just did it a second ago, but she is a very happy baby. With my first daughter, I don't really remember her smiling as much, but I can definitely see this one. She smiles very often, like daily and multiple times a day. There we go. There she's smiling a little bit. Not a full smile right now, but she's doing the little thing where like her eyes are like a little bit open, just to check to see what's going on, just to see if I'm there and things like that. She's definitely very happy when when she comes off the breast from breastfeeding. Breastfeeding has been going very, very well. The first few days when I came home from the hospital, I was thinking like, oh man, I can't do this. I was seriously gonna give up, but I had gone through it. The second week was really hard because I got mastitis, but I had been taking some Advil as recommended by the doctor, and it helped a lot, or whatever. It helped me get through the second week, and then third week I was good, and I got off the nipple shield that I had been using to help me get through all the pain, and now I'm just like, I'm breastfeeding, and she does it well, and she is all good on it, and so that makes me really happy. And what else about her? Her umbilical cord fell off, I think, a little after the first week, which I thought was really fast. It looked very different. I remember it being really long for my first daughter, but it was kind of a funny shape when hers came off. I guess it's the way they clamped it. And so I'm going to give baby her first bath. She's sleeping right now, and this is what the bathtub looks like. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I just fed her, and she is in a milk daze. Are you ready for your first bath? Are you ready? Maybe. This is how small she is. Are you ready for your first bath? She's got some peeling skin here. The bath looks like. So here's baby in the bath. She's doing a great job. She hasn't started crying yet, have you? Huh? Very good. Very good. Oh. Oh. So baby survived her first bath. How did you like it? How did you like it? Did you like it? Fist pump?
Did you do it in the tub? Oh, you did.
At the 2nd week mark, the doctor, the pediatrician, told me that I should try to not take her out that much, because if she had gotten a fever within the first month, they would automatically take her to the hospital and do all these tests, like run a series, like a whole lot of tests, which sounded kind of scary, and I don't remember that with my first daughter. And I don't know if that's a new thing, or if that's a California thing, or I just don't remember. But I would think I would remember something like that, so I was really worried about that, and thankfully she did not get sick within the first month. So we're out of that danger zone, so now we are able to move around a little bit more freely. I think with my first daughter, it wasn't so much of a concern because I was so tired, but with this baby, I feel like I've just bounced back a lot quicker, and I don't feel as bad. I mean, I think the first 2 weeks, I think, are the hardest. But after that, like, once your breasts are healed, like, I think that's, like, one of the hardest parts, like, the breastfeeding part. I think once that is healed, then you're good. And if I can, I can breastfeed while I'm walking, I can breastfeed while I'm standing, and I can do things with one hand, and so I just think that just, like, it makes life a whole lot easier, because the first 2 weeks it was like I was, like, tethered to the couch. So, gooder. So yeah. What else? There was something else that I was going to say. Her hands are, they are often fisted, very, very tight fisted, but sometimes she will open them up, and her fingers are very long, and they are, they're very long. I think my first daughter's was also very long. Her sleep is really good. In terms of her sleep, she does really good. I thought my first daughter did really good. My first daughter slept maybe like a 6-hour night, which I considered through the night. A 6-hour night when she was by 8 weeks. And this baby has slept 6 hours before the first month. And then for several days, I had maybe like sometime in week 2, I had woken her up in the middle of the night, because the doctor said, you should wake your baby up, or you should, feed on demand, but feed every 4 to 5 hours or 3 to 4 hours, something like that. So I would wake up, and I would, if she was edging on the end of, or maybe even a little bit past that requirement, I would wake her up and feed her. And it was like kind of a pain to wake her up, just because it's like she was sleeping so well. Why would I, have to necessarily wake her up and things like that? And why would I have to, lose sleep over it? But I did do it for several nights. And then after a while, I was like, forget it. At night, if she sleeps a good stretch at night, then I'm going to let her sleep. And I think I never really thought about sleep training, but I kind of call it sleep training. I refer to it as sleep training. I don't know if sleep training actually exists. I don't know if it actually works, but that's kind of what I refer to it as. And I think, so that's what I do. I let her sleep as long as she wants at night, and she catches up feeding during the day, and she's a very good sleeper, like at night. But it actually depends on how she sleeps during the day. So during the morning, middle of the day, let her sleep, whatever. But at night, it depends on how much she sleeps. I cannot let her sleep too much at night. So I want her up several hours before bedtime. And her bedtime I kind of wanted it to be like close to like 11 to 12. her bedtime, but sometimes, the past couple days she's been falling asleep at 10, 10:30, or finish, 10:30. So 10:30 she can sleep until like 6, so she can get up. Sometimes it'll be like 4, like 3:30 to 6, sometime between those hours. And these really long hours of sleep, these long stretches of sleep in the middle of the night, it hasn't, I don't think, affected my milk supply, which is good. I mean, my breasts are really full after a long stretch like that, but like I said, she catches up in the during the day. So when I actually find work and actually go back to work, I don't know how that's going to be, and pumping and all that stuff, but I'm hoping I can find a job, I guess, from home, working from home, things like that. So yeah. Oh, in terms of the car, it's getting like really sunny. Hold on. So in terms of the car, she's just like my first daughter. When we get to a stoplight, she screams her head off, and she like gets really annoyed. But once we start accelerating and moving, then she falls asleep. I've been going on walks, and she pretty much sleeps through a good amount of the walk. I'm using the baby carrier a lot more, way more than I did with my first daughter, and I just think it definitely does promote breastfeeding, which I never totally really totally understood, but it definitely does. And I just to build my strength, and things like that, I try to use the baby carrier as much as I can. As for her sister, well, it's not really like her getting along with her sister. Actually, she does. I personally think that she does recognize her sister's voice, and she likes her sister. I'll be changing her, and her older sister will come to the changing table and watch, and then she'll, her older sister, Michelina, will say like, oh, the baby smiled at me, and things like that, and I'm like, yeah, she loves you. So, because I remember when I was pregnant, I would, be hanging out with her older sister, and when my first daughter would be talking a lot, I felt like she was kicking a lot. So she began to kick a lot, and I was always convinced that she heard her sister's voice, and she wanted to be a part of the conversation.
Hi everybody.
What are we about to do?
I'm gonna hold the baby. And
Okay, she's a little fussy, so if she starts crying,
what's
don't
fussy mean? A little more.
cry.
What?
Oh, good job. Good job.
Don't pinch her. Go cheek. Be gentle. Don't touch her mouth. Is she kicking you? Is she like a Cabbage Patch? Don't poke her eyes. Can you hold the baby now?
Huh?
Mama, can you hold the baby now?
Can I what?
Can you hold the baby now?
Okay.
Wow, you are scared. She touched my face.
Playing with the baby?
She was touching my face.
Doing Oka Mocha?
Nice to meet you.
to. She doesn't want to play with me anymore.
Oh.
Because she's crying.
Oh, I think she took a dump.
Mama, get her. Before
Took a
she...
dump.
Mama.
Want to change her?
What?
Want to change her?
Then how do you carry the baby?
No, no, no.
I think the baby wants you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Carry the baby. Before the baby, there is my blanket.
Okay, all right.
Hurry.
All right. Gravity everywhere, huh?
Can I hold the baby? Hold the baby. I want to hold baby.
All right. All right. Hold on.
She's smelling.
Really? I just changed her.
Well, I can hold the baby now. I can
Did she poo more, you think?
but she's sticky. Hold the baby now.
Good job. You can rock her.
Heavy.
Yep.
Heavy.
Do you want me to take her? Yeah. Okay. Babe, are you okay?
Can you hold her now?
Okay.
Me.
She's smiling at you?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. She loves you, Goose.
She likes to do tummy time with me.
Mm-hmm. Because you guys are sisters, right? So that is good, and yeah, I was talking to a mom this morning, and she was saying, oh, you know, it's good to have two. You know, like what's advantageous about having two is that they can play with each other and, you know, distract each other and things like that. And I was like, oh yeah, but it's also kind of like a little harder, well, not harder, but they're not. Well, I mean, she is a newborn, but they're not distracting each other yet because, A, she's little, but they're also like they're 4 years apart. And the mom was saying that it's actually good when they're a little more, like that's a good age to be apart because there's not that much jealousy. I mean, like, yeah, every kid is different, every family is different, but the jealousy factor is less than if they're 2 to 3 years apart, because 2 to 3 years apart, they are, this is how she described it, they are more like competing with each other. So I thought that was interesting. I'm definitely glad I had them, like it ended up being this way, because I think my first daughter has really grown up a lot, and she's a lot more independent, and even with the baby coming, she has really taken on a more responsibility and things like that. Another thing I wanted to mention in this video is that the baby didn't have eyelashes when she was born, and her eyelashes are a lot longer now. She did have a full head of hair just like she has now. I think a little bit of her hair has been falling out, but nothing too significant. She still has quite a bit of hair, and that's always the first comment people say when they see her, like, oh, she has so much hair. And I guess I feel like my first daughter had a lot of hair, but when I look back at pictures of my first daughter, I think she actually has more hair than her. And some other differences, they look so much alike in my opinion, but sometimes I almost even mistakenly call her my first daughter because it's like so funny because they look so much alike, and sometimes it's like I get to relive that's really special time again, and it's like so cool. But some differences that I notice is like I feel like her nose is more pointier, and I have like a kind of like a pointier nose. So my first daughter, I feel like she has a little bit of a flatter nose, kind of like my mom. And what else? I feel like she's going to be right-handed. I'm not really sure, but she is definitely a kicker. She's really strong. She can like stand up. Like when I put her on, she can hold her own weight when I like pretty much hold her own weight when I hold her up. Like in the standing position. When she's on the changing table or lying down or whatever, she kicks a lot and she can move her arms and things like that. So I feel like she's gonna be a strong kid. That's my impression, at least at the newborn phase. And what else? She has some Mongolian spots, just like her sister. Her sister has it mostly on her back, but she has it in also a couple other places like her arm and her knee and things like that. And I think that's it. I think she's also like a sneezy baby. She like sneezes, not like a ton, but she like to the point where, you know, I notice it and can mention it. But I always have to think to myself like, okay, it's just dust. It's just dust. She's not getting sick, because her older sister is like starting to cough and stuff like that, and it's getting to be that season where like the kids in school are getting sick and things like that. So I get worried about that. But definitely not as worried with, not, like I'm definitely more comfortable with her, you know, like with like second time around. It's just, you know, I used to think like with my first daughter, it was like, oh, I just used the kimono tops, and I used to use like nightgowns in the newborn phase. But I actually like her to wear, this one to wear pants and things like that, like trying ferociously not to overdress her, hoping that she will not get eczema. And I like her feet to be out. I like to play with her feet. I like to know what's going on with her feet, you know. I kind of am against like the footed onesies now, kind of just because I just want to play with her feet. And I think I said she loves to be talked to. She's very happy when you're talking to her and engaging her and things like that, which is funny because sometimes I get very into my head, and I might be looking at her, I might be thinking about her, but I don't know if I'm too tired or whatever, but I don't always like, I'm not a very good like constant talker to her. My mom is really good at that, and she really loves it. She loves being talked to. She loves the engagement. So that is interesting. And I guess that's it. I think this video is going to be kind of long, and I kind of don't want to make it too long. I am going to try to do another update video every month for the first year. That's my goal, which means that I will be doing another update video in just a few weeks. And I will add this to like a baby update playlist. So if you're interested in watching those, then you can subscribe to that playlist, or just keep on hold with that playlist. Please subscribe to the channel if you are not already, and check out my blog and subscribe or whatever to that, because yeah, I would appreciate. I put all of my content up there, except for I put all of my content up there as well as Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. All my social media links will be down below. And I think that's it. The sun is coming in and out, so I'm dark and light and dark and light. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. You want to say bye, babe? You want to say bye? Let's see. Shame. Bye, babe. Bye.